Week 9 History, and the focus for this week is Port Arthur. So over this term we have looked at many different types of history, the history of different significant people such as Bennelong and Betty Cuthbert, and we have looked at the history of different places. We've looked at the history of Rattlemere and all the significant places there. We've also looked at the different places in Sydney that have rich history. And now we're going to look at a significant place in Australia that has rich history. So, this is the town of Port Arthur and it is located in Tasmania. Over the years it has been a convict prison. If you can see in the picture on the left hand side, a convict prison is just somewhere where people that do the wrong thing, criminals, they break the law, that's where they go. And not only does Port Arthur have this prison, but it is a place for work, it is a town, and it is also a tourist attraction. So a tourist is somebody that goes and visits a place to look at all the significant sites and to take photos and to buy different things and eat the different types of food at that place. So Port Arthur is a small town in Tasmania. It is one of Australia's most significant cultural areas. So it's got lots of different culture and lots of different history in that area. And as you can see in the pink box in the picture on the left hand side just here, that is Tasmania. So in Tasmania, the place Port Arthur, it has 11 different prisons or jails that were built in the 18th and 19th centuries, and they run all along the coastline of Tasmania. So Port Arthur is officially Tasmania's top tourist attraction. That means in that little space where Tasmania is, everybody wants to go and visit Port Arthur. It is the most popular place that people go. It is located about an hour drive southeast of Hobart. So Hobart is this little dot here, and it is the capital of Tasmania. And you can see that. I've just put a black dot on it. That's the capital of Tasmania. Tasmania is still a part of Australia, even though we've got the water in between this land here and here, it is still part of Australia. But sadly, in 1996, Port Arthur was a place of a really terrible crime that occurred. In the 1830s, Port Arthur became known as a place for different types of work. So the convicts that were sent to the jails in Port Arthur, they were trained to work in lots of different jobs. So some of the jobs that they were trained to work in were collecting timber, as you can see in this picture here. They were also trained in shoemaking, which you can see in this picture here. And as well, they were trained to make ships. So you can see in this picture here, one of the ships that the convicts had built. Port Arthur had some of the strictest rules. So all the criminals had to follow really, really tough rules when they got sent there. Let's have a look at this picture here of these shoes. These are a pair of shoes that the convicts had made. And here is a pair of shoes from today. How are these shoes the same or different? What do you think? Just have a think about it. I can see lots of different changes from shoes being built in the 1830s to shoes today. So today at Port Arthur, it is a World Heritage Site. So there is no longer a prison that has real criminals in it. It's not a working prison. People don't get sent to Port Arthur anymore, but it is a place where people can go and visit. Visitors come from all over the world to look at the sites and to learn all about the history that was once there. So these are the different sites that you can visit. You can visit the government gardens. You can have a look at the old prison coal mine. You can have a look and walk down one of the prison corridors where you can see all the different cells on either side. You can visit the guard tower where the guard sits and watches the people that are in the jail when they're out in the yard. You can go and visit the church. You can visit the aisle of the people that have passed away, or you could visit the Trentham Cottage. So which site would you like to visit first? I think I'd like to visit the Government Gardens because I love walking, going for a walk, and that looks like a really nice place to go for a walk because I can see all the bushes and all the flowers. Which site do you think would be the most popular? Maybe people would like to go and visit the church, or maybe walk down the prison corridor and see where all the inmates, or the people that were at the jail, that's what they're called, inmates, maybe they would like to see where they used to live. And which site do you think would be the least popular? So that would be the site that you think people wouldn't want to visit. Just have a think about this. You don't need to answer or write down any answers. After the last criminal or the last convict left Port Arthur in 1877, the land was sold and a new town called Carnarvon was created. New places were built, including hotels, a post office, different homes, and even sporting clubs. So there's no longer a working jail at Port Arthur, just a place where tourists can go and visit. This is a picture of how it looks today. If you can see it on the hill here. So nobody lives there. There's no people that are staying there, no criminals. It's just a place where you can go and visit, and you can walk through and you can see all those different places that we just had a look at in the last slide. So look at the reasons why people think Port Arthur is an important historical place, and we're going to fill in the missing words together. So I've got my 4 words here: mistakes, stories, changed, and learn. It's my job to see where they can fit. Let's have a look. We can see how life has changed. Something. We can learn from something that were made. It helps us to something about our culture, and it keeps something of our past alive. So I'm going to think we can see how life has changed. I think the word change fits here. Let's see if I'm right. There we go. We can see how life has changed by looking at all the different pictures of Port Arthur. What about this one here? We can learn from mistakes that were made. We can learn from mistakes that were made in Port Arthur, and we can use that so we don't make the same mistakes in the future. It helps us It helps us to change about our culture. That doesn't really make sense, and the only word I have left is learn. It helps us learn about our culture. By looking at history and looking at all the different things that happened in the past, it helps us to learn about our culture, and it helps us to fix mistakes that had happened. So that means the last one, the only word I have left is stories. It helps stories of our past alive. So it helps if we look at the history of different places and talk about the history of those places. It helps to keep the stories of the past alive. So your activity that you're going to do is draw a picture of which site you would like to visit at Port Arthur. Remember all the different sites that were on slide 6, the Government Gardens, the church, the prison corridors. So go back to that slide and think of a place you'd like to visit. Make sure you label your drawing so I know which place you would like to visit. And you can take a photo of your drawing and then upload it.